Welcome back, groovy people, to another epic episode of Mac Music Review. In this episode, I am counting down the 20 best songs of 2010. That's right, the best songs of 2010. We are not doing any honorable mentions. We're just going to hop right into it, get this done nice and quick, or as quick as we can. Thank you for watching, and of course, here we go. At number 20, we have Blood Buzz, Ohio by The National, specifically from the album High Violet. This was one of those albums, and I say this in all of these top 10 videos, but this is one of those albums where you basically could have just picked any song from the album as a representative because the album is so freaking consistent and basically every single track is a highlight. It really is hard to pick just one, but this seems to be a fan favorite or one of the more popular tracks in this album. It's the one I selected, and you know what? It's pretty darn good. Number 19, Get Back Up by Toby Mac. An absolute jam of a song, just one of the better Christian contemporary music pop songs from the 2010s. Like, Get Back Up is just kind of an iconic song in Toby Mac's discography, and it's a popular song, and it's just a bop. The newest addition on my list of the top 10 albums of 2010, which I will link in the description, was the album Teen Dream by Beach House. So it was really hard to pick one song from this album. So I kind of just went with one of the most popular songs from this album because, once again, basically one song represents the whole. And the song I picked was the psychedelic, the strange Silver Soul. A really strong track and the basis for the song Money Trees by Kendrick Lamar. That's basically why I picked it. It's a pretty iconic sample, pretty iconic production, and a song that to this day sounds really good. My number 17 is one of the more conventional songs on this entire list. It is a Christian contemporary music pop ballad by Mercy Me called Beautiful. It's a popular song by them, and it's a very powerful ballad. It's a song that works very well. It's very emotionally potent. It's very lyrically strong and musically strong. All the pieces, it's better than the sum of its parts because all of it comes together and creates something that works. It ends up working very well, and it's really just a great song that I'm even kind of surprised is on this list. But I'm not surprised when I listen to it because it is just a really solid song. 16 is Crazy Enough from the same album. This album is called The Generous Mr. Lovewell, and it's one of the better albums in the Mercy Me discography. An honorable mention on my top 10 albums of 2010. But Crazy Enough is a song that goes in a place that a lot of Christian contemporary music won't go, musically speaking. It just has a very slow, almost sensual kind of vibe to it. It's just music and a tone that is very rarely conveyed in Christian contemporary music, and it's very welcome here, and it sounds really great. Jesus Freak, Newsboys, they did it again on this album, on this 2010 album, Miracles, or Born Again Miracles edition, and I actually like this version more than the original. I like how they cleaned up the production. I think it just hits harder. It's not more raw, it's obviously more polished, but somehow the more polished production hits harder. That doesn't even make sense. I'm sure this is a very unpopular take. Like, I'm sure people greatly prefer the original, but I actually, hot take, really enjoy this Newsboys cover of the DC Talk Jesus Freak. You're Not Stubborn is one of the best tracks off of this Taurus History album by Two Door Cinema Club. It's not my favorite song from the album. We will get into that later on, but it is a really, really great track. Highly recommend you check this one out. It's a bop. Dark Fantasy is one of the best opening tracks of all time. Like, when they say in the song, "Can we get much higher?" the answer is probably no. It really is that anthemic, that incredible, that soul-soaring, that just out of this world fantastic. Dude, Dark Fantasy is something else. I'm a bit sad this didn't make the top 10 because I really like this song. It's Rhinestone Eyes by Gorillaz. Sort of a fan favorite pick from Plastic Beach, an album that is a little bit tricky to pick just two songs because when I do these top 10 lists, I limit myself to two songs per album. So no more than 2 songs from Plastic Beach could be on this list, even though Plastic Beach is a fantastic album. So one of those 2, spoiler alert, there's another one coming up, is Rhinestone Eyes. It's got a very singular vibe, very unique sounding song, and a really cool song. One of my favorites on the album. My number 11 is We Used to Wait. I'm still very unsure of this pick because I absolutely love The Suburbs. Spoiler alert, my favorite album from 2010. I think it's absolutely incredible. It's not even my favorite Arcade Fire album, but that just shows just how amazing Arcade Fire is as a band. But anyway, the song, We Used to Wait, it's anthemic, it's huge, it's a song that is an exercise in patience and build-up, and it comes together extremely well, just barely didn't make the top 10. My number 10 is a really fun song, Flash Delirium by MGMT. It doesn't get crazier than this, bro. Like, I was struggling for a second to pick one, but my gut instinct, I'd pick a song from Congratulations, but my gut instinct said Flash Delirium is an awesome song, and every time I hear this song, it hits. It's pretty fantastic. My number 9 is the song Quiet by The Listening. It's a really good song. It's a very slow song. It's a very kind of thoughtful song. It's a somewhat of an emotional song. It's a very vibey song. It's a song that barely anybody has heard, and it's my favorite song by Lights, this little-known pop female artist. But please check out this song because it's really fantastic. Yeah, it's another The National song. This one's called Anyone's Ghost. It's a really cool song. Lots of energy, a lot of darkness in this one, very dark vibes. And it's kind of permanently engraved itself into my brain, which is why it's so high on this list. What You Know. I told you Two Door Cinema Club would be back on this list. Incredible song. The first song I ever heard by Two Door Cinema Club. Easily one of their most popular songs, if not their most popular. An anthem, a hit, a really iconic moment in the indie music scene, a really iconic moment for this band, and a really just fantastic indie pop song. My number 6, very high on this list, is The Game Has Changed by Daft Punk. I think this song is incredible. It's my favorite song on this Daft Punk Tron soundtrack, and I think it's really just an excellent mashup of Daft Punk style mixed with an orchestral movie score. Like, I think both parts, I think it's equal parts, both Daft Punk and movie score, but it's just the most effective use of that and the most effective combination of those two styles on any song on the soundtrack. So that's why The Game Has Changed is number 6. Number 5, Gorillaz, On Melancholy Hill. Quite possibly my favorite Gorillaz song. I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorite Gorillaz song. It's a really, really popular song from this album. I would say probably easily the best song in this album. Easily like the most iconic song in the album also. Plastic Beach has a lot of really great songs, but nothing hits as hard as On Melancholy Hill. And it's just such a singular and specific vibe, just like Rhinestone Eyes, that it's really kind of, it's a really special song just for that reason of just how unique and how much of itself that it is. That sounds weird, but that's the only way I know how to describe it. My number 4 is Wondering by TobyMac, an absolutely wonderful TobyMac deep cut. Barely anybody knows about this song. It's from Tonight, an album that I've reviewed that I will link in the description. It's a really great album, and it's a really great song, and I don't have a lot to say about it. I think you should really just listen to it for yourself and form your own opinion, but I think you will love this song if you give it a chance. Huge fan of the Gungor song We Will Run. The closing track on the album, the epic closing track on Beautiful Creatures. I think that's the name, or Beautiful Things. Whatever the name of the album is, the name is escaping me at the moment. But it's an incredible song. Incredible song. Almost brought me to tears first time I heard this song. It still almost does, because it's a lot of orchestral instrumental music. It's very epic. It's very big. It's very beautiful. It's very overwhelming. It's very good. My number 2, another Arcade Fire track. It's the title track from The Suburbs. I have always loved this song. Like, the minute I heard this song, I was like, this is such a fantastic song. And it's because the vibe is so specific. It's such a jaunty song. Like, it gives you kind of like jaunty old-timey piano vibes from like, like the 40s or the 50s or whatever, like an old Western or something. Like, it's that type of energy, but like with a lot of darkness and a lot going on beyond that music and beyond the fun side of it, especially as you'll see later on in later parts of the song. It's a really incredible song, but not quite as good as my number one. Yeah, you shouldn't be surprised. Of course, it's Kanye West, Runaway. It's my favorite Kanye West song. I had to include it at number one on this list. I just recently did a top 10 Kanye West songs. I will link that in the description. You can check that out if you want to hear my others. But now you know it's at the top. It's Runaway. It's an extremely basic pick. I mean, this is probably the most basic pick for like a number one or like the best Kanye West song. It's such a long song. It's from his most beloved album, his most critically acclaimed album. Like, you really, it would be hard to say that anything else was the best Kanye West song or my favorite, because I love this song. It's a very emotional song. It's a very powerful song. It's a very perfect song, and I love it a lot, and that's why it's my favorite song of 2010. And that's what I have for you guys today. Let me know what some of your favorite songs from 2010 are. I'm curious to know. And you know what? Have a great rest of your day.